thing that was noticeable to me throughout the trial is him rocking back and forth, a lot of this. And this doesn't mean that he's guilty or innocent. This just means that he's nervous. Like, being in a courtroom, being on trial is nerve-wracking for anybody, whether you're guilty or innocent. So this is a self-soothing technique, and he's been doing a lot of this. We see him chomping up on lifesavers, as you said, a lot. This is also not abnormal for someone who's nervous. Like, I stress eat when I'm nervous. A lot of people do this, or drink a lot of water when they're nervous. So this is also a self-soothing technique, and I think that's what he's doing here. He might just have a lot of love for lifesavers. We don't know, but for normal people, munching on anything like candy or food it just means that they're stressed. The crying here that we sing, I mean, you know, who knows what's going on in his brain? He could just be really upset that he's in this predicament. He could be really upset that he's in the courtroom. It doesn't mean that he's upset that he's feeling guilt or feeling remorse or anything like that. So the tears, I mean, they look very real, but like I mentioned, I'm not diagnosing him with antisocial personality, but somebody who carries that diagnosis, it's not hard for them to cry on cue.
Really?
It could be a facade. It looks to the jury this looks pretty genuine. Like right now that I'm seeing him cry, it looks pretty genuine, but we don't know. It could also be a facade. The touching the face, he touches his face a lot. That's also just a nervous response. Most people, when they get nervous, they pull out their ears, they pull out their nose, they touch their face, or you see him covering his mouth a lot. That just means he doesn't want people to... When you cover your mouth a lot, you're trying to hide an emotion, whatever that emotion is. It could mean that you're about to cry, you don't want somebody to see, or you might laugh, you don't want somebody to see. Whatever emotion it is, touching the face, covering the mouth, covering vulnerable places in your body, such as the throat, is a sign that you're trying to cover up something. Crossing your hands a lot of times is a sign of defense. He hasn't been seen doing that too much. Mostly what I'm noticing, even with his head right now, he's bobbing it back and forth, which is just basically a self-soothing technique. So I think this is not an exact science, so it's really hard for me to sit here and tell you based on this and that means he's guilty or that means he's innocent. Everything he's displaying right now is very consistent with somebody who is severely anxious. And being in a courtroom, being on trial, whether you're guilty or innocent, is nerve-wracking.
And it matches